You name it, we've lived it.
And are living it.
Brits moving from the UK all the way to Australia with not a pot to piss in.
A whirlwind romance sparkled on Tinder.
3 months in, pregnant, starting 2 now successful businesses through COVID.
To another 2 new businesses post-COVID, whilst juggling 2 young, spirited children.
Living worldwide, travelling and pure hustle. We are nothing short of batshit crazy, but motivated as fuck. We are here to tell you our story,
inspire,
teach,
and probably scare the crap out of you.
Uncut, raw and real. Welcome to Business, Babies and Banter
with Henry
and Jade. Welcome to Business, Babies and Banter. I'm Jade.
I'm Henry.
And today, well, it's January, so Happy New Year, everyone. And we thought it would be an awesome opportunity because it was such a wild year, wasn't it, Henry?
Always is wild with you, Jade.
But yeah, an awesome opportunity to go through our 2024 in a rundown. Obviously, we only started Business, Babies and Banters. When was it? What month? October, September? Something like that. So really in the back end of the year. So we were like... We reflect on what we've done month by month. It was actually quite wild. And it's been huge changes, shifts, beginnings, ends, new things happening. So yeah, we're going to do a little rundown of our year today, aren't we, Henry?
We are.
Anything that you want to add to
Well,
that?
you've got the notes.
I have got the notes. I wrote notes because I was prepared and Henry wasn't, obviously.
Yeah.
So what did we do last January, Henry? Let's test his memory. What did we do last January?
We were in Thailand.
We were.
It's New Year's in Thailand. Met my parents over there. Had my birthday over there. And we had a good 2-week holiday, didn't we?
And you saw in your 33rd birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we were there, we actually landed on New Year's Eve, wasn't it? Just past midnight.
The fireworks going off, we were in a taxi.
Fireworks were going off. And Harper was losing her mind. Do you remember? We got there and she was just basically, Henry's at reception trying to check in. We're all super tired. It's been a long, very painful flight, as it always is with children. And Harper's literally like running around the reception screaming. And Hugo's going, wow, look at those cool fireworks. So that was hectic. And we were like, it was then we realised that, yeah, basically, unless you go on sorry if you can hear any noise, by the way, there's some building work going on intermittently. We're going to try and cancel it out of the actual podcast, but if it doesn't, I apologise. But yeah, it was then that we realised that if you don't have family with you, it's pointless going on holiday. Do you remember?
Yeah, pointless. Either need family or a nanny. Family or a nanny, otherwise there's no point doing it.
So the first 3 days was just Henry going, I'm going to fucking lose it, basically. Because Hugo and Harper were intermittently fighting, screaming, running away, running into the fucking wilderness in Thailand. Hugo would want an ice cream from like 6 o'clock in the morning when we said no.
It was also because I was the one that had to be in the sea 24/7.
I was in the sea as well, mate. Oh, he's so strong. He's a liar. Anyway, yeah, the sea was an issue. And then the one day that we were like, oh, we'll just, Hugo didn't want to sleep, basically. He was losing his mind. And I was like, I'll take Harper. No, you took Harper for a sleep because you wanted to have a nap as well. And I stayed out with Hugo. Anyway, we get to the restaurant that night and Hugo, bless him, I didn't believe him because I just thought he's quite dramatic. He's a bit like me. He's like, oh my God. And do you remember? We went to this restaurant. He goes, I don't feel very well.
He vomited in their fish pond.
With their koi.
In that sacred pond, he vomited.
Sacred pond. He did. He just turned around and went, I don't feel very well, Mummy. I was like, oh, you'll be okay. But he went, I feel a bit sick. I said, well, what do you want to do? And then he just went, like, projectile vomited.
And then he kept saying, I'm going to be sick again. And we kept taking him out. Wasn't sick.
Yeah.
And then the one time that he was like, I am going to be sick again, he chucked his guts up all over the street.
In the koi pond.
And the dogs were eating it.
Dogs were lapping it up the straight off. So,
but you got love Asia.
I got love Asia. That's when we realised, we were like, okay, he has to have a break in the day. Even it wasn't even stinking hot, was it? It wasn't like...
It was just
too much sun. Yeah, too much sun. So we were like, right, well, we can't do that again. We actually have to enforce him to just come inside in the middle of the day. Because we were out from 6 a.m, weren't we? Like the kids and obviously the time difference. So super early starts. And then we had your mum and dad join us, which was really special. On his birthday, Henry as well, nobly took the children back home after we had this amazing meal. What was the place called?
Carpe Diem.
Carpe Diem. Amazing, amazing food in Banter in Phuket. If anyone wants to go there and try it. And Henry took his mum and dad out clubbing in Thailand. They were like, oh, look at all these people. Isn't this interesting?
Yeah, there were people watching, like tapping their feet, doing a dance like this.
What's
going on? Yeah.
You also got your dad to have a puff of a joint and he lost his mind.
Yeah. So in Thailand, weed is now legal. So we said to my dad, I was like, should we try one? He went, yeah, okay, let's do it. So we took him outside and, I thought he was going to, he went, held it in and then went, and then did it again. And then he went, ooh, that went straight to my head. I was like,
and then you stayed in. So Henry, we had this beautiful apartment.
No, we went and got food from
No. I went and you stayed at home. You stayed at home and your dad obviously it doesn't hit you straight away. And then me, Henry's mum and dad, Henry stayed with the kids. We went literally just opposite. We had a penthouse in a hotel. We went opposite, got some food. It was like a beautiful dining room. And we came back. And then we laid everything out, started eating. And Charlie goes, so where did all this food come from then? And I went, we just bought it from across the road. He went, did we? And he started being really weird, didn't he? Saying like,
and I was getting worried, and then obviously for me, I was getting my anxiety kicked things. I'm like, fuck, is my dad? Am I going to kill my dad? Is he going to like go all spaz and jump off the balcony?
It was actually.
In the end, we gave him a beer, and he calmed down, and he was a bit more chill. But for a few moments, he didn't know what to do with himself. He was all fidgety and touching.
Yeah, and we'd be talking about something like we'd be talking about the day and like what we were going to do the next day, and he was like, well, funnily enough, Queen Mary actually experienced something like that. And I was like, what is he talking about? I don't know. It wasn't he. He was just losing his marbles for a bit. So that was a highlight of the day. But no, seeing Henry's mum and dad, they loved it, didn't they? They loved Thailand. We were on the beach every day, went for some awesome meals. It was an amazing, amazing start to an incredibly huge year for us. The actual front half of the year was just wild, wasn't it? We then got back. We had a member of staff leave in the salon, which was totally aligned and actually required. But that was a transition. And then we had someone new starting. And then into February, we did AIM. So Henry, tell us a bit about, for anyone that doesn't know, AIME this is. And this was for the mobile business. What's AIM, Henry?
I can't remember what it stands for.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's something like Australasia and Pacific meetings and events. And so ultimately it's B2B. So it's businesses connecting with other businesses to drive their business. So we got a stand, didn't we?
Yeah. So we had a stand on there. So a lot of the businesses at AIM were hotels, luxury event companies. So for us, obviously, Privé Hair and Makeup, we service a lot of hotels, corporates, events, conferences, etc. So for us, it was a perfect pool of our market and our demographic. So we had a stand there. We had hair and makeup artists on site doing touch-ups, and we were obviously engaging with people. We could schedule meetings with people that work for Hilton, for Sofotels, etc. And we also, the biggest exhibitor at AIM, which was a call, they had the buyer's lounge. They had this huge area designated for all the VIPs to come for free lunch and for free booze. We had our team, they employed us to have our team in there as well. So we had our team dotted all around the exhibition centre doing glam bars. Remember, we just kept going in there to get free food, didn't we? At lunchtime. Yeah,
it was awesome. I was like, I'm just with the Privé team. I'm just going to go and check this. And then I'll just go and get loads of food. But no, I reckon on that week, was it a weekend? I can't remember. It was a few days. I did about fucking 50,000 steps. It was busy day. So extensive. So Henry...
And we had big nights the night before.
Yeah.
And then we went to AK. And then the next day we had it. So we were doing it
MK.
with little sleep.
We saw MK. We went, yeah. It's amazing. This was obviously, I don't know if anyone saw my social post before I found out I was pregnant. But it was going to be my year, return of the party girl and going to lots of events and things. And then that soon whispered out when the party got the better of me mid-year. But yeah, so that was incredible. And that was really, it was the first significant business event we've done.
Well, it was a 7.5, probably close to 10K investment to attend the event. and we gained, what did we have? I think it was like 200 contacts and leads that are, Amex employees, hotels, events companies, conference coordinators, etc. So it let us build our B2B database.
And when I say business event, I don't mean what being employed by. Like, we've done chief executive women, we've done huge conferences and events that we're employed by, but I mean as a host. So we actually went there, invested to be there as a host, driving the business. So it was a really different experience. Would we do it again?
No.
Why?
We wouldn't do it again because the investment that it takes to do it, yes, you build a lot of contacts, but there are other ways which I feel we can nurture and gain those leads that are going a little better. People are in rush there. It's 5-minute appointments. They come by and they meet hundreds of people. We'll wait till it finishes. So I don't feel it was as impactful as we thought it was going to be.
But it was a great experience. We learned a lot, and I don't think we could have got any more out of it. Like, we physically, I marched up and down. I was going up to everyone. I was like, you got boats in Tasmania? Great. We could put hair and makeup on those boats. Like, literally. There was a party bus. There was a really cool party bus, actually, which was, what was it? I forget the name, but it's a luxury bus service. So for hens parties, going down to the peninsula, blah, blah, blah.
Lux Coaches.
Yeah, Lux Coaches, that's the name. And I was like, we could do hair and makeup. So we could do it. And they were like, logistically, I was like, it's perfect. It's no problem.
Imagine the bus.
I was like, we'll put our seatbelts on and we can do it while we go. I was just going for it. I was like, I'm going to get the most out of this. And then moving into March, we supported Lisa Barron on a fashion runway for the Variety Children's charity. So we do like to do as many charitable things as we can with the business. I just think it's just a good way of giving back. It's it's great exposure to people that are going to potentially be your clients, but it's a really good thing to do. If you're in a position where you can support charities in an aligned way with your business, why wouldn't you? So we did the hair and makeup for all the models on the runway, and this is at the Town Hall, Melbourne. Yeah. So it was a very, very prestigious location to be working from.
Yeah. And ironically, this is, again, I think we spoke about this on one of the podcasts before, when you do things for free, they often don't stay free. They lead to other opportunities. And Lisa Barron played a significant role in our partnership with the Langham.
Yes. So Lisa has been my long-term client. Hi, Lisa, if you're listening. Lisa has been my client since I was 21, and I started at Tony & Guy Armadale. Been doing her hair, and Lisa is a fashion designer. So born and bred, Australia, but she started in Perth with just a sewing machine and a dream, and really made something. And so Lisa has some fantastic contacts. I mean, the Langham in Melbourne basically hosts an event yearly that's called Langham Loves Lisa. So she's very, very close. So she was a pivotal point in our relationships with the Langham, which are now going almost internationally, which is something else that maybe Henry can touch on at the end of this podcast. And also we did the governing Crown Mayor. What's her name?
Don't know her name.
Cody, what's the lady's name?
What?
The mayor of something from the town hall.
Oh, the Lord Mayor of Melbourne.
The Lord Mayor of Melbourne. I'm so sorry I got that wrong. I might get told off for that. Yes, the Lord Mayor of Melbourne we took care of. And then we've taken care of quite a few politicians this year.
Jackie Lambie.
Yeah.
The ex-Prime Minister of the UK. What was her name, Codes? Liz Truss.
Yeah, Liz Truss. So we're going up in terms of calibre. Some of
We've got an Australian Open International Superstar coming on Thursday.
We've also got a few that we have NDAs on, so...
Any of those?
There are a couple of them, but you haven't mentioned them yet.
Okay, cool. Right, we won't mention anyone else because there's NDAs involved, but very exciting. We've then moved into...
April?
Oh, no, March as well. We took care of loads of ladies for PayPal Melbourne Fashion Week. So we attended Fashion Week. You don't remember?
Sorry.
I'm talking to Henry. He's just going. He's onset dementia. I wore the waistcoat. We went to Fashion Week. We had a babysitter. We went to see the runway show.
Yes, I didn't know we looked after people.
We did. Yeah, we did. We took Shani Grimond. We had a few people that attended that, that came to the salon. So that was really exciting. We had loads of people coming in, mostly to the salon, to be fair. It wasn't mobile work. But that was a really good experience, wasn't it? Something different. And being part of like fashion shows is something, I don't know, it's just something cool and different. We then went into April, where we tactfully went to Bali for 10 days before Harper turned 2, so we didn't have to pay for a flight. Yeah, loved it. Loved Bali.
Why did we go to Bali, Jade?
Well, I don't want to go into it too much.
She had a medical procedure.
Oh, shit.
She needed her nipples made smaller.
Oh, that is such a lie. Fucking hell. I've actually got lovely nipples for anyone that's listening. I can show you them for proof if you don't believe me. Better than your orangutan titties.
Okay.
Yeah, so we went to Bali. It was just, we actually had a break, didn't we? Because we had a nanny every day, and we were just able to work. We just worked the whole time. I did like most of the awards, which we went on to win for the AHIA. So I did most of that in Bali because I could just sit and focus, and I wasn't in the salon actively like anywhere. I could just work on growing the business, which was awesome. I had a lovely break. They're just Bali kids, aren't they? Our kids, always barefoot, running around, free. They just want to be naked, free, and just in nature, basically.
Riding on the bike with no helmet.
Right, yeah. Well, no, we did try and put a helmet on Harper, yeah. There was like 4 of us on the moped again, riding to our old, what's the word?
Stomping ground?
Yeah, like riding to our old stomping grounds. And she was like, Mummy, I love Bali. I know that place. Went to Park Life. They all remembered him from when we lived there. It was really cool. April was also a month that we were going hard on the influencer campaign in the salon, Henry. Super hard. We had some really, really big influencers come through.
So we engaged with an agency. It was the first time. It was
started in February.
Yeah, we engaged with the agency, and it took them a little bit of time to get the ball rolling. But eventually they did, and the intention was to obviously bring through influencers that were not only going to be able to help generate great content that we could use for the salon, but also increase followers, brand awareness, etc. And it was a great success.
And no, it was awesome. I was like, so I got most of this from my camera roll, right, to remind me of what we did. And yeah, it was just, we had some massive influencers in, and I think that was a real big driving factor for the salon, definitely. Being a newer business, it was a lot of exposure, and it was a really, really successful campaign. And then in May, we officially launched
Private
Education. So we spent the best part of May flying to Sydney and Brisbane between delayed flights. I had rollers in my hair for every single one, do you remember? And we did blow dry like a boss. So it was me, Henry, Cody, Farina flying around the country. We actually had to do 2 in Melbourne because it was so successful, like so many people wanted to attend. There was not enough seats in the salon in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So we did 2 of those, it was super, super exciting, amazing, flying around doing it all. But you know, this is May, guys. We did so much in that time already. And then we continued. I think we hosted our first one in June, our first proper class for Private Education.
Yeah, Lily.
Which, yes, you're right. And then at the end of June, we flew to the UK.
That's right.
Yep.
So Private Education was designed to provide in-person training, workshops, masterclasses for our national team. So it was in each state, but also for the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
Uplift the industry, providing hair and makeup bespoke in person. So the edge was, rather than just doing a look and learn, which is what everyone does these days and paying so much money, you can actually do the hands-on. So to put into practice what you've learned, which as a creative who's predominantly a kinesthetic learner, was something that was different.
And that for another episode, that was a business that didn't go entirely to plan.
I've got this at the end.
Okay, there we go.
At the end. Sorry, he doesn't know the notes.
Just let me know what you got planned then before we start, maybe.
Well, I did say, should you want to read the notes? And you didn't.
You said it
I did.
2 seconds before.
No, I didn't. I said when we were sat down there and you were fatly farting around. Anyway, end of June, we went to the UK, which was amazing. We love going to the UK. Yeah, it's
You love going to the UK. UK shit, miserable, horrible. But it's nice to see family. No, I said it.
Anyway, I love going to the UK. Yes, it's great to see our family. It's super wholesome because they love, you know, the kids love going in the garden. My mum and dad's is obviously in Cornwall, Henry's is in Leicestershire, so they get so much of the countryside. It was less stressful this time because we had quite a stressful time in 2023. We were, you know, do you remember? We were just driving around too much. There was lots of just family issues. And yeah, so this year we were like, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be here for 12 days. We're going to do 5 with you, 2 here, and everyone could come and meet us. And that was it. We were really firm on it. And that did make it a more successful trip, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
My advice to anyone listening that is from anywhere overseas, like if you live overseas and you go back home, wherever your home may be, like you just have to have the really, really clear boundaries because it just doesn't work otherwise. Like I felt like in 2023, I drove around Britain accommodating people when I had a 1-year-old baby, a 3-year-old, like a 2-year-old boy. It was just too much, wasn't it? And then people weren't happy because we didn't have the boundaries in place, and it just, people were then wanting to stretch it further, and they were like, oh, can't you spend longer here, and can't we do this? And I was just like, came back exhausted and debilitated and just thought, fuck. Like Henry was like, we're not going back there ever again. So yeah, this year it really worked. And we were just very clear on where we were, what we were doing and how it was. And then we went to Cyprus for pretty much the whole of July, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
2 weeks. No, week by ourselves with mum and dad.
We did a week by ourselves in an all-inclusive, which I thought it was great.
Solomon and Gomorrah, chavs going everywhere.
Yeah, but I thought it was great. You need an all-inclusive with kids. Like, we were in the pool most of the time. I mean, at one point, Harper stood up, took her nappy off, and then got herself off a chair and was running down the all-inclusive restaurant, butt naked, towards the swimming pool, right, with no assistance. And I'm, like, running after. And she's just naked and all these people are watching her. And I just caught her before she jumped in the pool with no armbands or anything. Yeah, the joys. But no, it was really, really good. There was a kids club as well, but I had to be there the whole fucking time because Harper's not old enough to be there on her own. So Henry was like, right, did it at work, sat on his laptop for hours while I'm in fucking kids club with about 20 screaming children, like drawing, painting, throwing balls at each other, fighting over toys.
I thought you said your life all inclusive.
I did like that. I just didn't like the fact that you left me at kids club fucking time. The disco, the kids disco, remember that? Have you seen? Oh my god, they love the kids disco.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I go do push mine, pushing too. They did all the classics. It was great. But no, Cyprus was amazing. And then your family came. We had a beautiful Airbnb, and yeah, just like again, so back to that assistance on holiday is just key. Just someone to have the kids be part of it. It's just so important. Just no point without it. And then Henry's mum and dad left, and then my mum and dad came. And then we worked back, to be honest. So Cyprus is 5 hours toward Australia from the UK. But because we booked the UK one first, and it was really complex, we basically flew to Cyprus, flew back to the UK, and then flew back to Australia. So just went straight back, gained another 10-hour trip. But whatever, it is what it is. We're used to travelling, aren't we? And then August, we arrived back early August, and we were just in the thick of it, weren't we, with everything, with Privé Education. So again, I was doing a lot of the hosting then, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Flying around, hosting, doing all the bits and bobs. September, very much the same. I was also podcasting in Brisbane for Sip and Snip. If anyone hadn't seen that other podcast, that was a really cool one. And I actually got pregnant at the end of August, but didn't know. It was a margarita late night special. And yeah, so all this time I didn't know, of course. And then in October I found out, which was earth shattering at the time, just total shock. Henry thought it'd be good for branding though, as we've already discussed.
No.
What do you think, guys? Let's have a poll. Is it good for branding, getting pregnant?
No, I said twins would have been, because they thought it was twins.
Anyway, Hughie Bear turned 5. My little baby bear turned 5 at the end of October. We had Halloween, which is always mayhem. And then tell us about November, Henry. The biggest races. So just for perspective, for anyone that doesn't know specifically about the hair and makeup and like hair industry, any salon worldwide peak time is December, correct? But for the mobile business, the December is the races for us, specifically because we're based in Melbourne.
It's spring. Start of spring in Sydney and Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about the races. Give us some numbers. Give us some figures. How many services did we do? Was it 300?
I can't actually remember. It was probably a lot more than that, but it was a big one. And we had a glam bar at the W, glam bar at the Langham, and obviously the Salon. So flying staff down for those dates to accommodate it. And of course, we had a new staff member, Lauren, join the team, Cody as well. So it was all hands on deck. And it was very
Cody's
smooth.
first races, yeah. It was his first races, but he started for December before.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was super, super busy, but really, really good. We had a lot of fun.
We didn't go this year though, did we?
We didn't go this year. No.
Four times last year, no times this year. Evens itself.
Mate, to be fair, 4 times last year was too much. It fucking killed me. And then December was huge for the salon. So it was our second birthday event, which is really exciting. And, we took a picture and we've more than doubled our team. So there was a picture from the first birthday where there was 6 of us, including me and Henry. And then this year, including me and Henry, there was 14. So quite remarkable. We also checked our turnover. So the salon went from 735,000 January 2023 to December 2023 to this year, January 24 to December 24 doing.
Was it 1.25?
1.35 million. So huge growth. We're definitely going to dominate some awards this year, aren't we? We're going to do Vic Salon of the Year. Going to invest in some time and energy into doing some amazing awards. But huge success. We then had our works barbecue at the house, which was really fun. Had everyone around our house causing chaos. That was pretty wild. And then we recently how many days ago did we get back from our place? 2 days? 3 days? We took the team to the Gold Coast. Tell us about that, Henry George. You tell Henry's club, he's like, I've got to go.
No, it's not for me that we got to go. You guys go. No, we had a holiday. We went away with some family, and then the Salon team came up with Cody for 3 nights in a mansion on the water. We went to Rick Shaw's, nice restaurant, bit of team bonding. Did challenge rooms where they got the scores wrong, and
oh, shut up! Cody's on the other side of the
You
camera.
are a bad loser.
it was something.
Me, Cody, Rob, and Jess won. We were 4. Henry's team was 5, and Henry's like, "You fucking mate, I'm gonna fucking knock you out of the water, you lot." And I was like, calm down, mate. I was like, we're not like, if you do win, it will only be because you've got one person up. Anyway, we dominated. Henry's like, they must have counted scores, bro.
I think the cards were swapped over at the end.
Oh, it's bullshit. It said your fucking name on the cards, mate. But no, that was incredible. And I think just, as a business owner, being able to give back is part of why I want to do what I do. Like, I don't want to make money and, run a business for all the fame and glory. Like, it's actually just about having the freedom for me and my family, giving my children the best life possible, but also being able to do things for your team, to be like, hey, you worked really fucking hard this year and we built loads of success. This is just to say thank you for being part of that success. And they loved it. I loved it. We did a future self workshop, which is a little bit of a coaching thing for me, which was awesome. We did some meditations. Even Pete, even though he's been calling it radiation accidentally, he's like, "Oh, what's that radiation?" I'm like, "It's meditation, Pete." He did do really well with it, to be fair. The dinners, the nights, it's so bonding. And even some of the team in the group, they said, I feel like we've got really close to you guys and just bonded in a way that we haven't before.
Yeah. We did all the cooking and cleaning with the mum and dad of the group, weren't we?
We are the mum and dad of the group.
Yeah.
That's the thing, we're the fucking parents. Cody, to be fair, was very good as well. Yeah. Cody was, I nominated Cody. I was like, so we flew up early to see Henry's family. And I was like, Cody, we're going to create a WhatsApp group and I just need you to manage to make sure that everyone's at the gate on time. They almost missed the flight. Cody was there. He was like, where are you? Half of the group are walking to the wrong fucking gate. The other half are running late. One's vaping in the toilets or something. And Cody was like, you need to get here. There's 8 of us. We need to board. And then they had to stop in Sydney because of an emergency landing or some
Medical
thing.
emergency.
But yeah, totally wild. An incredible 2024, would you say, Henry?
I think we've skimmed it as well, really, haven't we? There's been so much that's happened.
There's been so much. This was just the key elements of every single month. But one thing that we have had to decide, which we will go into, I think, in another episode, because it's really important to talk about the highs and lows. I think the transparency and vulnerability is that we made the difficult decision to put Privé Education on hold.
Well, it wasn't a difficult decision. It was the right decision.
It was the right decision. But when I say difficult, less for you because you're less emotional. But for me, it was like I invest my heart into things, and yeah, I know.
Thanks for listening.
And hopefully laughing. Be sure to leave us a review, and if you're into the madness,
Check out the links below to follow our day-to-day journey.
stay tuned for the next episode.